What is up, everyone? Welcome. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. In fact, this is the first stream since World Cup, which is kind of hard to believe. It was not intended to be that way, but had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys did too. What's up, Matt? Mike, excuse me, I almost said Matt. What's up, Matt? How's it going, everybody? Yeah, welcome. I appreciate everybody who's tuning in live right now and watching the stream. I think it's going to be a good one. We're going to watch the Dynasty versus Tampa Bay Damage game in the finals, and kind of figure out what happened. You know, what was sad about my experience in the World Cup was that I was there and I had to leave literally right as this game was starting. So I didn't get a chance to actually watch any of the points. I just heard about the point spread and the difference. Carlton Lewis, what's up, buddy? How are you, Tonlo? So I only heard about the point spread difference. So I have no idea what happened. Like, this is a clickbaity title, but only in the sense that, like, I truly don't know what happened. So I think it'll be fun to look at that, and that's what we'll do today. At the top of this, a couple announcements. If you're watching the stream live, please hit the like button. It does help out the stream a lot. If you haven't joined the Discord server already, I'm telling you, you need to do it. I don't care if you don't know anything about Discord. If you've heard me say this more than 3 times in any of my videos you've watched and you still haven't joined the Discord server, you are making a huge mistake. So join the Discord server, because that's where all of the value additive stuff that I can provide to the community is going through the Discord server. So everybody who, if you're a member of the, if you've joined and become a member of the YouTube channel, and you've linked your YouTube account to Discord, you'll have access to like private guide information and stuff, and other sorts of things that I'll be releasing there. But also, we just recently launched our buy, sell, trade Discord forum, or the forum within the Discord server. So right now we only have 1 post, but I'm hoping to actually list some of my stuff that I want to sell. So join that. I think you guys will have a good time there. And we're also going to be launching soon-ish an electronics buy, sell, trade in the gaming section of the Discord server. So just, yeah, join. I promise you, you're not gonna regret it. So it'll be good. Okay, I think that's everything. There's only one other thing that I want to share or say, but before we get started, and that is that I was made aware last night, actually really late, that one of my good friends lost. This is really like such a out of left field, so I'm sorry. One of my friends lost their child. Wow, here we go. Lost their child shortly after they delivered. They had like a bunch of heart problems that they weren't going to be able to resolve. So they're just spending, the rest of their child's days in like comfort care. Obviously horrible situation. And I want to do something. I want to do what I can. So, I got to keep it together. Obviously there's only so much our community can do. And he doesn't know. Like, I want to keep his information private. I know he doesn't want like a bunch of extra people coming his way, but I want to do what I can to help alleviate whatever kind of pain I can. So any of the money that this channel generates throughout all the month of December is just going to go to him and his family. Obviously the channel doesn't generate very much money, and that's okay. But if you guys want to help contribute in any sort of way, just know, like, any donations or any literally any revenue that the YouTube is attributed will just go to him and his family. So that's like super chats, donations, anything like that'll just go to him and his family. So if you guys want to help out, feel free to. Don't feel pressured to. I'm just, I just feel horrible for him and want to do what I can. So didn't mean to get super super emotional there all of a sudden, but yeah, just really sad situation. So, and the community is awesome. Like, we have such amazing people. I know everybody's kind of going through stuff here and there at various times in their life, and we've had awesome people like reach out to each other and ask like, hey, are you okay? What's going on? So I really appreciate that. Okay. Sorry. Carlton, thanks. Sorry. Wow, this is such a rough stream to start. Woo. Yeah, thank you, Carlton. Thank you. I'll provide like a screenshot and everything. Well, I'll provide a screenshot at the end of the month, the money that we send to him and stuff, just showing you guys that it really did in fact happen. So thank you so much, Carlton. And I mean, I don't want to like keep interrupting the stream for this, but thank you guys so much for the donations. It's hard. It's only because I'm going to get, it's going to get brutal more and more. I'm realizing that for whatever reason, I'm splitting this screen. So I actually have to fix that before we can actually watch the game here really quick. So let me do that real fast. What was that? Thank you, Mike. Why can I not affect the display settings now? This isn't good. Okay, there we go. 1 and 4. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Okay. Whew. Paintball. Let's talk about some paintball. I need this so bad. It's been so long. Let's talk about some paintball. I'm super excited to watch this game. I'm just going to kind of skip in between points. Matt, thank you again for the $19. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, all the money that this channel makes for this month is going to go to him and his family. So, okay, here we go. Let's watch this. Hopefully we don't have any issues. Let me know if you guys see any issues on your end. Ooh, it's getting hot. Getting hot. If you guys are watching the stream live right now, please be sure to hit the like button so we can just kind of spread awareness. I'm also planning on doing, or I don't have any specific plans yet, but I'm planning on doing another gaming community event sometime this month where we'll just kind of raise awareness of the situation. It's hard because I haven't like expressly told him like, hey, I'm trying to raise money for you and your family and stuff, because he's such a good guy, and I don't think he would accept it, and his family, like the posts that they've made on Facebook, they're doing super well, like all things considered. I mean, as well as you can, but they're super positive, and it's been really humbling to watch. So, but I am planning on doing another gaming community event where we'll bring more awareness to it, and then just kind of hopefully surprise them. So, Dan, I don't care if you don't know anything about Discord. I feel attacked. I love the gym rat cameos. Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun that weekend to hang out with Matt the gym rat. Him and his brother are just awesome individuals. Also, I'm not sure why the broadcast is like hitching, so hopefully it doesn't stay like that. But all right, so let's see. I don't want to have like multiple talking. It's not going to do well for me to hear these guys talking and for me to talk. So, relatively conservative breakout to start the point. Both teams are kind of pulling up short in the back line and then using that crossfield shot from that mini wall, which was a very, very, very common strat, especially at pro, where teams would just do whatever they could for as long as they could to keep people out of the snake. Because it was really hard to match. That's such a huge gap to get through. And then obviously the counterpunch to that is if you're pulling up short in the middle holding cross shots, you punch up. And so I'm not surprised to see two people in the middle. As I recall, this was a mercy rule. So I'm pretty sure and I think Damage only won 1 point, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be very, very curious to see what happened, and again, there wasn't a ton of points that were played, so I imagine each point is kind of long and drawn out, and it might really come down to like one particular issue. But it'll be very, very curious to see. So far, I don't think either team has any particular advantage over another in this situation. It really looks like both teams have the chance to win this point. Hold on. Apologies for my stuffy nose. So again, and also kind of surprising. Oh, that's not good. I'm not sure. Obviously, we didn't see it on camera, so I'm not sure what happened, if he in fact deserved that penalty. But what's interesting to see is Dynasty pulling up short on the can as opposed to matching on the wall, because it's a lot harder to run, to like run somebody down if you do that. They send the body through the middle, and it doesn't look like they traded. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies alive. So that guy that ran through the middle just died for free. Kind of a desperate play. So, I mean, good on Dynasty for like keeping composure and not just like letting the chaos get to them, because I think they finished with 5 bodies alive at that point. So I have to go into work, but I'll watch this tonight. You coming to St. George Saturday? See you later. Sorry about your friend. Much love. I don't know what's going on in St. George on Saturday, but no, I haven't been made aware of anything. Any practices that happen for the D5 squad in particular that aren't in like Utah Valley, I'm not going to be able to make it to, just because that's such a long drive. But have fun, buddy. Good luck. So yeah, honestly, that to me, it's just that's actually insane that one flag caused the entire downfall of that point. It may have been possible for Tampa Bay Damage to like slow things down and control the field even after the fact. But obviously, like the 1-for-1 went on the snake side. They not only lost the person that was going to hold any sort of push from the snake, but anybody getting into the snake, that guy was gone. He's the one that got the penalty, and then the dude behind him that was in the snake also got pulled. So they literally just lost their entire snake side. It's how it goes sometimes, but I'm not surprised to see that point went in favor of Dynasty. So we'll see if that continues to be what plagues this series. I have no idea, again, like how many penalties were given and stuff like that. So trying to skip but not like get into the next point just yet. All right. And I also am starting to see that split deck makes commentating really, really tough. So one of the things that, when I was commentating at World Cup in the Premier Field, one of the things that I noticed is that there's so much opportunity to talk about what happened, and there's so much opportunity to like kind of speculate, I guess give hypotheses about what you will see happen as a response to what you just saw, right? Like, oh, they broke out really strong on the snake side, and that ended up working for them. It'll be interesting to see how they, counterpunch that next point, or it'll be interesting to see their response to that, or now that they know that works, are they going to try it again, and so on and so forth. So it's really fun to kind of play that speculative role as a commentator when you're watching, but it's really hard to do that when it's a split deck format, that, literally the next point you have literally 60 seconds to just talk about whatever you feel like you needed to cover, and then move on to the next game and then do that same thing. And it's really hard to like flip flop back and forth. So, all right. Point 2, double stacking the home with a launch up the middle. This is a very, very common move throughout the tournament, and that's a great move. Again, the crossfield shot from the mini wall towards the snake side is still seeming to be the preference. I'm not sure if this guy was the one that came from the mini wall. I'll be curious to see. I don't think it is. That might have been the other middle guy. But that just means they have a lot of congestion in the middle looking cross. Oh, that is so scary. That is so scary. I saw that in a reel and like pictures and stuff. That is scary. So it should be 4-on-4 right now. They don't have the body count on the broadcast, but 4-on-4, and Damage seems to have superior positioning because they're now on the 50 brick on the Dorito side. So, and they have presence in the middle. So they have superior presence at this point in the game. I don't know if there's still 4 bodies alive for Dynasty. We obviously don't see more than just 2 on our screen. But there could be a guy somewhere in this Dorito corner, which he is there. And there could be a guy in the snake corner, which means that it's going to be hard to dig those guys out. So far, Tampa Bay Damage has the juice box on the snake side. He's not in the 50. He's in the Dorito 3. Right, 1, 2, 3, Dorito 3, and then there's a guy in the wall-looking Dorito side. The wall-looking Dorito side, in my opinion, is stronger than it is to look snake side, because if you want to control snake side, you probably should just be in the snake side wedge, the big wedge. But it's also hard when like Dynasty doesn't need to come at you in this point. And in the finals, so there he goes. He backs up to go to the snake side wedge to see if there's anything he can dig out there. But it's tough when you're playing against a team that's so good as Dynasty that it's really hard to dig them out, because they can just sit in the backfield and literally play an 6 to 8 minute point, and you still haven't dug them out yet. So first time catching it live. Thanks, SVP. Hey, you're welcome, buddy. Well, and thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Thinks he got him at the bump out. If he didn't, that's pretty unfortunate. Okay. So apparently the body count isn't really caught up yet. So good point for damage. It looks like, I mean, that's the thing at a high level. What you're really after is getting that first kill off the break and then controlling what advantage you have based on that and just trying to slowly squeeze them out from that positioning. And so both teams are trying to do that, you know. Generally speaking, you're going to get, depending on the breakouts, right? You're going to get one body off the break on either side. Both teams are going to get one body off the break. But if you're playing super conservative, which it looks like both teams are, they're pulling up really short in the middle. Sometimes they're double stacking the middle with a launch up, or like double stacking the home with a launch up the middle. Like that makes it so that you don't have that 5-on-5 or you don't have that 4-on-5 advantage. But now you're having 5-on-5 games where literally one mistake can cost you the entire point. And so, and especially in this case, they're super long points. They're really long, drawn out points. But Cyrus, welcome. How are you? If you guys are watching the stream live and you haven't clicked the like button yet, please do so. I really, really appreciate it. I'll kind of I know that some of you who are just tuning in now, I made an announcement at the beginning of the stream about community like charity thing that we're doing. I guess you could call it that, but I'll reiterate that halfway through the stream and then at the end. So this, man, super scary. Like, holy cow. I'm so glad nobody got hurt there. That's so scary. All right, let's see. So it's 1-1. There is no momentum at play here, in my opinion. At least it doesn't seem like it. So both teams have the opportunity to kind of nab this series away. At this point, again, we know what happens, but it feels very even still. Good. It's good to see you, Cyrus. I think where did we meet? I think we met. Maybe I'm just making that up. Okay, Dynasty launching up the middle. Looking Dorito side, trying to control that. So what's interesting is I can actually see Tampa Bay's breakout. I wasn't paying a very close attention to it, but it looks like in response to that, because I think that what they were going to do is take this route, which is also a really good route on the right side of your screen, going from the back center, using the middle and then the mini wall as a blind, and then going into this baby Dorito. But it looks like Dynasty's counter worked really well for them in that he's punching up the middle. Oliver Lang is, it looks like, punching up the middle, holding that route. So good thing for them to pull up short and not just die for free in that situation. Because like, here's that move, right? It looks like he wasn't ready to commit to that right away, but it does look like he is aware of it. That Oliver Lang, I believe that's Oliver, went up to the middle and was holding that Dorito side. Yeah, that's Oliver for sure. So 4-on-4 ball game. It looks like, I'm not sure who lost what, but it looks like there's only one body alive on the snake side for Dynasty. Otherwise, it's pretty standard spread. One in the middle, one Dorito side tower, and then one in the back center. And then Tampa Bay Damage has two people at the wall, and the Dorito side tower and the snake side juice box. So like almost identical breakouts with one body difference in positioning. So it looks like Oliver's trying to wave off that gap. Yeah, he's trying to wave that off. So he's trying to tell Frazier to stop shooting it. Stop shooting heads up, let the guy go so that he can bait him out, which is a really good move. Yeah, there it is. There it is. No way Oliver did not just get that kill. Ooh, interesting. Did he just get 2 kills or just the one or neither? I know that there's somebody walking out on the Dorito side. So it looks like Tampa Bay Damage just lost 2 players right there, which means they'd only have 2 versus 4 right now. And that was a really good move. Really, really good move. Can't believe Oliver came back for Cup. That was super exciting. That was really exciting. I didn't get to see him play a single point the entire event because I was so busy, and I didn't get to see him in person, like not even one time, which is really sad. Oliver was like my hero in paintball for the longest time. He's still like the GOAT. He's still awesome, but yeah, it was just kind of surprising. So I still think they say that there's 3 bodies alive. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's in the Dorito corner. Okay. So it's a 3-on-4. Right now, how I would say, so Dynasty is in a position where they don't have to push if they don't want to still, but the kind of the squeezing death grip at this point for them is if Archie gets anything wider than this bunker, that's when the point starts to get really out of hand. Because even though they've got a lot of bodies on the Dorito side pressuring it, these guys only have 3 bodies to like counter punch. So as you guys remember me saying, you want to flip the field like you want to flip the field on your opponents and their advantage. You don't want to try to plug the hole. And right now, the distribution of bodies is just along the back line with these two being heads up, right? The juice boxes, I believe, are mirrored right now. And so if Archie breaks out at any point past this mirror, it's going to apply an immense amount of pressure and essentially put them on a time clock before they are going to lose the point damage. And so damage would need to do something to respond to that. And the best hope would be that they would clip Archie as he tries to make this move out wide. But again, Archie does not have to make this move. So that's the other issue is they can just wait till Oliver finds the body, like plucks the loader out, and then the point kind of blows up from there. And so that's the constant pressure that Oliver's applying. The other alternative is that if the point is so dead silent, you know, there's not really anything going on, Dynasty's not making big moves to like close out the point, it's always possible for Oliver to get clipped out because he is looking for the bodies and he's moving a lot. So it's easy to get baited into a particular angle if you're not careful. So Ryan moving up to the laydown juice box in the 50 on the Doritos side, and now really trying to put in the killing blow by finding those creative angles. Really confident move from Ryan too. You know, this is like something that when I talk about layouts, this is what I'm trying to illustrate to you guys, is that you can make you can make certain assumptions about where people are looking given the positioning that they're playing. And so right now, like Tampa Bay Damage has a guy in this Dorito corner. And even though that's the case, and like you can see that if the Dorito corner were to wrap hard enough, he could see Ryan right now. But this is a really surprising position to be in, and Ryan is using that to his advantage. It's also the fact that prior to this move, Dynasty also had somebody in this corner. And from my recollection, you can get some, you know, corner to corner blind drop shots on each other, especially if you take a step out. And so you do have to be careful, like to wrap so hard to try and look either at the middle guy or really where Ryan is. And Ryan's using that to his advantage by standing up over the top of his bunker. Because from our perspective, Ryan is completely in the open from the Doritos corner's perspective. But he's using the fact that that's such a surprising angle that nobody's going to shoot him in that. And just as I say that, we now see Ryan standing up, literally looking at this move breaking out, because I think they just lost their juice box player. So losing the juice box player was, I mean, that was definitely the nail in the coffin. The final nail in the coffin, is that the phrase? I don't know. But that was definitely the death that caused the point to be lost. But obviously the bigger play there was Oliver clipping like that huge bait where he called him to, he waved them off to like let that move go. That was like the big killing blow for damage in that point. So honestly, arguably a very close point, despite the fact that they have, you know, 4 bodies alive. Series is still pretty low, 2-1. Obviously Tampa Bay Damage could pull back easily in this situation. So I wouldn't argue that there's any momentum. There's not any big momentum in favor of either team right now. But there is momentum starting to build for Dynasty, I would say. Dan on your screen. Love that guy. Huge supporter of the channel. What a good human being. The event parking lot. The guy that sent you GoPro footage a while back plays for... Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Thanks, buddy. It's helpful to put the face to the name. So the name to the face. That's what I mean. Again, really conservative breakout. I'm not going to make any sort of like strong statements about, you know, hey, you really should be changing things up because it's the finals and they're pro teams. They have a lot of history and knowledge about how things are going for them. These are my only catch or caveat is that I'm not sure how different their breakouts are and what they're hoping to do different that will work for them, because this kind of 1-2 punch up from the middle has kind of been the standard practice that they've been working on. What it looks like they're trying to do is I don't think they care that Dynasty knows that they're going to be in this middle wall. Like most teams send a guy to the middle wall. I don't think it's that they care about that very much. The nice thing about having the middle wall looking snake side on this cross angle is that it's really, really hard to scout if you're that snake guy. It's really hard to know if somebody's just staring at you through this window because the angle is really hard to see. And so you kind of have to commit to that move before. So this is a really good trap, really good bait. And if somebody comes to run them down on the Dorito side, obviously Keith Brown has that on lock, right? It's still going to be a trade. It would be disastrous if it was a 1-for-2 or 2-for-1, but Keith Brown has this cross shot, also controlling any sort of Dorito pressure that happens from the Dorito 2 to the 3. The challenge is that Dynasty's not really gotten far on the Doritos side before they just win, right? Obviously, the second point, they got all the way up to this juice box when it was a 4-on-3. But generally speaking, Dynasty's not winning because they're getting a body in the Dorito 3. So, like, you can only hold this cross angle for so long, and you're doing it, in this case, as a protection to, I think it's Chad Bougier that's in the middle. But, so this is fine. But you would think that because you no longer have this guy in the mini wall looking cross on the snake, that the guy that's the only dude that's left on the Doritos side is going to be playing heads up trying to push really hard, right? And that you would send your middle guy to also follow behind. So these two essentially become your two Dorito attackers, the guy in the back center and the guy in the Dorito tower, because you have so much control and pressure in the middle now that you've kind of released this guy from his job. So because the guy that was doing this is now in the 50, right? So that you would right now when I look at this layout, I think, oh, this is a Dorito side push, or I'm baiting somebody on the snake side, and if we kill them, we push the snake. If not, I'm pushing the Dorito side the entire time. That to me is what that breakout looks like. So could be wrong, obviously. I mean, it's paintball. It's not. Sometimes it's not that methodical. It's sometimes just like we're just trying to see what we can do to make it happen. Oh. Jacob Edwards just died. I'm not sure out of where, because we're not seeing that right now. Again, Dynasty with the pulling up short. Okay, so Dynasty, this is really surprising. They were one of the, I didn't watch a lot of programs, so maybe there's a lot more teams that were opting for this can than I realized. But like, this is kind of surprising to me. I didn't see very many people playing this can so dedicatedly. Most teams were just moving up to the middle. We heard through the commentary that they lost Jacob Edwards, and then this move right here is catastrophic. You can still win a 4-on-5, but you're not going to win a 3-on-5 in this situation where Dynasty is still in like back line or like locked in primary bunkers with zero pressure to move. You're just like, you may as well towel this point. I mean, you want your players to make a move with this information, right? They know it's a 3-on-5. They should be trying to make a move because you either need to win fast or lose fast at this point. So your losing fast would just be to hang the towel. But your winning fast would be, let's try to make a big move to blow up in this point. So to me, that's kind of what you have to do here. It's also because like it's so hard to punish a team like Dynasty on their mistakes, right? I know that Dynasty makes mistakes, but it's just in the finals, they are going to make a lot less mistakes when they don't feel pressured to do anything, right? Dynasty doesn't have to move at all. They're chilling. They could chill here for the rest of the 5 minutes that we've got. So I don't know where Jacob Edwards died out of. I don't, and if it was literally he just got plucked out of his bunker, obviously that's a huge mistake, but it happens. It just happens sometimes. Sometimes you just get one random ball. So there you go. There's the towel. Not surprising. It should have probably happened a little earlier, but you know, hindsight is 2020. I'm sure that their coach was hoping. I can't remember his name all of a sudden, but I'm sure that Tampa Bay Damage's coach was hoping that his players would try to make a last ditch effort to win the point. Even if you try to make like a big desperate move, because you're going to lose either way, right? That point is going to Dynasty if you don't do anything. So, now we're in a pretty significant deficit with a small amount of time. I mean, it's only 2 points, but like 2 points with less than 5 minutes to go is going to be hard to come back from. This is where. So my philosophy as a coach, and this is something I'm going to actually talk about this week. I'm going to live stream this. It's going to be, I think it's going to be my masterclass on coaching. And I'm not saying I'm a great coach, so please don't misunderstand. But my philosophy is always that you need to collect data and information at the beginning of a series by taking big moves or taking big bites or making big moves, because that is very, very valuable data that you can then use later in the series if you need to. Now, obviously, we're in the finals. These teams have scouted each other throughout the entire tournament. They know what their breakouts are. They know what they're going to do. So both teams opted for the safest breakout on point 1. But I would have liked to have seen a more risky breakout from either team on point 1, because you can risk that in a 0-0 situation, right? Obviously, you don't want to go down any points at all, but it would be better to go down 0-1 and learn a very valuable lesson, or potentially go 1-0 and you took a huge risk and now you're kind of chilling because you don't need to take that risk the next point, instead of now being in this situation where you are down 2 points and you don't have a lot of time to win, and you can't keep hoping that Dynasty's going to make a mistake, right? If you just keep doing the same thing you've done, if you keep doing the same conservative breakout like both teams have done, hoping that this time the shot will hit off the breakout, or this time you'll pluck them out of their bunkers, that's just that I feel like you're just gambling a lot more than you would if you just actually took the big bite going somewhere. Now, again, you know, the gaps in this layout are probably so wide for these pros that it's just so easy to hit them off the break, and that might just be the full stop issue. That might be the entire reason why it's like, well, we can't really risk the body to go out. We can't risk a snake off the break body because it's just not going to work. But I would argue that if you've shown 4 points worth of conservative breakouts, obviously now it's kind of obvious. I would think if you're going to do some kind of crazy play, it's obvious in this situation, right? You're down 2 points with very little time left. They're probably going to do something crazy, but it still might be worth it to take like the deep snake route. It still might be worth it to run up, you know, this like blinding up the middle and then diving out wide to go into the snake using the snake side wedge into the snake off break. It still might be worth it because right now, actually, this guy's going to kill you if you do that. So that play is not going to work. But you could probably go to the snake corner easily off of this breakout. These guys keep shooting a crossfield shot from this snake side, or excuse me, from this mini wall. You probably could take the snake corner off the break, maybe wrap on this dude, and then take the bite. I don't know. There you go. Hey, look, exactly that. I'm so happy. Now, I I promise I did not pre-watch this. I had no idea that they were going to do that. Tampa Bay Damage does in fact opt for a very risky play into the snake off the break by taking that literal route that I just mentioned, which is awesome. We'll see if he actually makes it alive. He does make it alive. The issue, the huge risk that they ran was that if I'm Dynasty's coach, I'm thinking that's what they're going to do. That they're going to make that move because they have to. They can't just keep doing the same thing they've been doing and expecting to win. They got to do something now. So you just kind of put a lot of undue pressure on yourself to kind of be, you know, the risky players in that situation when you're in Tampa Bay Damage's shoes. So I believe it's 5 alive, and the Dynasty does not have anybody in the snake side wedge. They do have somebody in the snake corner, which is kind of unfortunate because let's see the breakouts really quick. In order for this play to work, you need to keep them out of the snake corner more than anything else. If you can, so I think Archie I think took that bite off the break. Yeah, let's see from this perspective. Sorry, one more time. Does Archie take the corner off the break? Yeah, he does. Okay, that's really crappy for damage. Maybe they knew that that's what they were going to do, and so they didn't care if they made it to the snake, if they made it to the snake off break anyway. They just didn't care because they had a counter to it. But like, if you are going to send a guy to the snake off the break like that, you need to key up on that snake side. You need to key up on that corner shot. Like you have to kill them out of the corner. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's nobody in the snake. It looks like they did. Yeah, it looks okay. Good for damage. Either they killed him or I'm just dumb and I don't see where the other guy is. But this is like the prime position for Tampa Bay Damage, because now they don't have any stoppage heads up in the corner. I don't know if Keith knows that. He can obviously see this shot coming into the bunker in front of him, and that might exist if he tries to take this next bite. But the fact that there's nobody in the snake side wedge and there's nobody in the corner, this is like literally a damage win if he can get to the 50. If he can survive into the 50, then they win this point. So, and if you look at it from this perspective, the only person on the snake side that is stopping damage from winning is whoever is in that juice box. That is literally the only player that is stopping them. So you just have to like hyper key up on that guy. You need to send a dude up to this middle to try and look for that pluck out. You know, you're trying to pluck out the body or, you know, do what you can. Huge move. He needed to make this. It's okay that he's taking his time here to make this move. There's nothing wrong with that. So he now they are in winning position, in my opinion, in this point. They're in absolute winning position. They doubled up the snake. The guy behind him is now applying a massive amount of pressure on this juice box guy because he's here and he dies. No. Oh, and the counter punch too. Oh my gosh. You cannot die there. So here's the thing. It's one thing if you die there, but you're still alive in the snake like this. You can still win that point. The problem is the only person now that was containing them in this juice box is now releasing into the snake corner, and Keith has no idea. He either didn't know his teammate died behind him, which I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. And even if he did, it probably would be you'd probably be too slow to try and shoot this guy on the move, right? But like, it's one thing to have this guy still be in the juice box and you be in the snake. You could still win that point. But now, literally all of the pressure that literally every point, everything that we did to get up to this point, taking the risk off the break, killing him out of the snake, doubling up into the snake, all of those things that we did, all that work that we did is literally just being completely stopped right now in this single move, right? Keith has no idea, barely doesn't die here. Good for him. But now Keith is trapped. He's pinched. He's pinched by this tower in the corner. Their entire pressure that they had, their winning condition, which was this snake side move, is completely gone. It's gone. So in my opinion, I mean, this point is over in my opinion, because Dynasty has 3 bodies alive on the Dorito side, and now, I mean, even if it's a 3-on-3 situation on that side, the entire thing that they did to win is completely countered. It's always possible to win in the heads-up Dorito fight. It's always possible for that. But, like, your one guaranteed win condition is now just completely gone, and you have to scrap together some kind of mid-game plan to pull yourself out of this, right? Chad opting to help push the Dorito side. Huge kill. But, oh, maybe that wasn't a kill. Okay, maybe they just toweled. Yeah, that's a tough call. I think the coach was probably right for that. It's just that you're kind of like further cementing your loss by toweling that situation. You know, you'd almost rather let your players like win or lose that point in a short amount of time. But I think he could probably see the writing on the wall, and he probably thought, I can win a 3-point deficit or tie a 3-point deficit with the time that I've got. I just need to towel this point. So, I mean, hats off to him. That's a tough call as a coach. That's a really tough call, but I think he just trusts his guys enough to win the next point. But, like, that literally is the reason they lost that point. So, getting plucked out of your bunker like that in that key positioning. Now, it would have been less bad. I'm not sure what happened or why they didn't opt for this, but it would have been way less bad if they had sent somebody to the middle. Like, they don't... Here's the thing that didn't make sense to me. I'm not sure if in this situation... So here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 bodies alive. Why didn't we send somebody up the middle after we punched the snake side, right? If you do this... If that move was beautiful. It worked super well. This is such an amazing move. But why not instead either double up the home or rather just have your home guy do what he's going to do right here, but then go up to the middle? Because what it seemed like is they were trying to put 3 bodies on the Dorito side and have the one guy that's going to win you the point essentially in a 2-man operation on that side, right? Why not support that push with another body up the middle to help, you know, because that's the risk you run, right? You lose your number 2 on the snake side, and it's entirely countered. Whereas if you had somebody in the middle who could watch for that released move, you know, in response to you losing your number 2 on the snake side, then you can kind of stop the bleeding. You could have won that point if you sent somebody to the middle, or even if somebody, it doesn't have to be a breakout play, but even if right here, this guy, if you're the 3 and you hear your guy say, I'm alive, or you know your guy's alive in the snake, punch up the middle, send somebody up the middle, right? That just would have been, I think, in my opinion, the better thing to do to support the snake side push. Okay, huge. Okay. I missed this the first time. This is why. Okay, I missed this. Getting just plucked out of here is obviously a huge mistake. That seems to have happened way more than it should have this series. So, not good. And that forces your number 3 to make this move, and I totally get that. And now the problem is if you don't make this move out wide, they're going to just win on the Dorito side. And if you punch up the middle and this guy plays heads up and plays containment on the Dorito side, so let's say the wall, let's say this exact situation happens. The guy in the wall looks Dorito to hold the gap, this big gap here you see, and then the number 3 in the back center pushes up to the middle like we've talked about. Well, now all that's going to happen is they're going to run you down on the Dorito side of the wall. That's literally all. That's the only difference that they have to do. Now, you know, sometimes you have to like force your opponents to make those moves, even if they're really bad for you. But like, it's still sometimes better to just force them to make that play, because now what you can do is you can set up a different bait where let's say that's their positioning. The guy at the wall is looking Dorito. You have a guy in the middle looking snake. And now the number 2 is following up the snake side player by being in this mini wall in the snake. Well, now he can look cross. You can't see it very well, but he could probably look cross and do a little bit of protective work on the guy in the middle. Or better yet, if he saw that his buddy pushed up to the middle and was looking snake, he could probably just chill back here in the god and watch the cross shot anyway. And that's a way more protected move, because now you are essentially baiting out the juice box player to bump if he's, if he's not paying attention or if he's not careful. But, and he can't do anything about your snake guy. That's the thing. When you have a guy in the snake like that and he's in the juice box, he can't stop the guy. He's essentially waiting to lose the point. But when he plucks out your number 2 behind you and he fills out to the corner, then that's catastrophic for you, right? For you if you're damaged. So we'll see what they do here now. 3-point deficit. Pretty hard to come back with only, 2 minutes and 35 seconds left? Let's see. 2 minutes and 36. Okay, so now they've opted, which again, I think Dynasty probably knew that they were going to do this, but they've opted for a deep Dorito route, right? It is what it is. What you really, like, the hard part as a coach is you have to decide, is it more obvious to do the same route that I did last point because it worked? Is that more obvious than it is to do a deep route on the opposite side of the field? And that comes down to the coaches knowing each other's play style or coaching style, and just that's a gut call in my opinion. I think you could argue that it is just as obvious that Tampa Bay Damage would take a deep Dorito route this next point than it would be for them to take the exact same snake route. I think most pro teams are kind of really against doing the exact same breakout the next point, right? Unless it's a really safe conservative breakout, and he doesn't live there, unfortunately. I think it's Dan. And how do they die out of the wedge? The wall. What happens? Who was shooting that? Heads up. It's heads up. That's a good counter. That's a really, really good counter. That's the thing, is if both teams have been playing this mini wall shooting crossfield, you could probably assume that they're getting a little loosey-goosey behind that bunker. And if all you do instead is put your first 5 balls, maybe not so many, but first 3 to 5 balls back at your mirror, and your shot's super on, what a great counter move to this. Is that what kills him? Who killed him? I don't know if that's what happened, but it kind of looked like it. I'm not sure it was the guy heads up. Look, he gets shot on this side. Cheech, what's up? So let's see what happens. How does this guy get absolutely torched right here? So unless the can guy shoots some kind of, I don't think he can see him he can't see him, but even in a drop shot, I don't think he can kill him. But you can see that what I believe is happening is that he's feeling pressure heads up. He comes up over the top. From this angle, you shouldn't be able to see each other, but watch what happens. Is that a god? Is that a god shot from the snake? There's no way. I don't know who killed that guy. That's a mystery to me. So, yeah, I don't know who killed him. I can't say. But obviously, losing the Dorito guy, pretty crappy. If it were me, I don't think you need to make this move. And I think if you're going to make this move, you first need to send a guy to the corner. So, what I would have rather have seen... Again, I'm not pretending that I'm a better coach than Damage's coach at all. I'm not stupid. But what I would have liked to have seen more than this is that the problem is when you send your front player to be the guy that draws the guns, but you do it in a very risky route, it's a way riskier route to make than it is for what I like to see in this case is if you want to take a deep Dorito route, what you do is you send your Dorito player in this dead zone here, right? You just kind of play him in this little box here. And then you send your number 2, whoever the support guy is going to be, you send him out to the corner. Now, I don't know how often they've been shooting the corner, but Damage hasn't been sending people to the corner very often off break. Maybe they haven't. I just haven't been paying attention. Yo, these are facts. We live, buddy. Hey, if you guys are tuning into the stream right now, please hit the like button of the stream. It'll help out a lot. In just a second, I'll announce the charity thing that we're doing this month. But what I would have rather have seen is the number 2 goes out to the corner and draws the guns high, and then as soon as he gets established, then this guy takes this exact same route and goes low. Now, it is possible for them to have both of those shots dialed in. It doesn't have to be that it's one gun shooting that. I'm not sure it would have made a difference. It might not have, but it's just like, you know, pro players aren't always baited out by that. But if you time it really well, where as soon as the guy gets to the corner, the other dude slides underneath, that's really hard to stop. So I would have liked to have seen that more than this, because like your Dorito player is literally just taking the biggest risk to just make it out alive. And you can actually see the paint. Maybe you can't on stream, but look at where the paint is in the corner. Like look at where the paint is off the break. Okay, let's see where it lands. Okay, paint is starting to come right here. Nothing in the corner yet. Literally no paint in the corner. He gets hit right here. So they were looking for that move. And the other thing you have to say, well, maybe that's actually counter to what I was going to say. But now you start to see paint here. Now you start to see paint here. Okay, paint's now landing in the corner. Barely lives. Barely survives that. I mean, this is like a really, really difficult win. Must-win situation, but like no surprise. You have to take the bite there. You've got less than 2 minutes left. You're down 3 points. Yeah. Yeah, huge play for Oliver. Yeah, the point was over when you lost 2 bodies on the Dorito side and a 3-point deficit in the finals, for sure. Wouldn't have seen any of this if you hadn't shown me and my dad the entrance. Dude, Impulse, it was good to meet you at the event, dude. It was cool to put the face to the name. Hey, guys, for you 29 rather, people watching this live, please hit the like button. While this is playing, I'm just going to reiterate the thing I said earlier. We're doing a charity thing this month for a friend of mine who just lost their baby shortly after delivery. Well, actually, I don't think they've passed away yet. That sounds horrible to say, but they're in end stage care. They had a lot of complications with their heart, it sounded like, and they're not going to make it. Really, really, really sad situation. I'm not going to cry again, so I'm done doing that. But any money that the stream makes this month is gonna go to them. So any money that the channel makes, whether that's just revenue from views or donations in the streams and stuff like that, memberships, anything like that, all of the money is going to go to them this month. They don't know that, so I'm trying to keep their identity and their situation like private, because they don't know that I am doing this. But I was just made aware of it last night, and just I feel horrible and just want to do what I can to help out. So we'll be doing that this entire month, and I'm planning on having another community event where we'll be playing video games. I'm not sure it'll be Call of Duty or Halo. We'll figure it out, or maybe we'll just do both and we'll just have a great time. So if you want to help out, feel free to. Don't feel like you have to. But anyway, so to me, I don't think anything. Thanks for the lesson, man. Huge for my team is D5. You're welcome, Wellen. Thank you so much. Thanks for the $2, buddy. I appreciate it. So the one thing, I don't think the series. I think the series is over. I especially think that this. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. So in my opinion, the deficit is too large. 2 minutes to come back to literally win 4 points to tie in 2 minutes against a team like Dynasty is probably just out of the question. In my opinion, the series is over last point. As soon as you lost those 2 bodies, the series was over, in my opinion. So anything else after this is kind of inconsequential, I would say. It was cool to see the Dynasty players outside the net getting hyped. That's awesome, dude. I should have given you my pit pass, but they were kicking people out of the pits. I had a pro pit pass thanks to Carlton Lewis, and they were kicking people out of the pits for the finals. But if we had met up a little earlier, I would have. Yeah, it's easy to say like, oh man, now they're really squandering their chance at winning, but like this doesn't matter. It's all kind of over. So what's interesting is that it's easy to look at this. The Cup this year was awesome. Cup this year was great. Obviously, aside from the freaking hurricane that closed everything on Thursday, it was awesome. But it's easy to say in hindsight, like especially with the point spread the way that it is, it's easy to say like, oh man, Dynasty's they're so much better. You know, they're so much better than Tampa Bay Damage, or they're so much better than any team out there, whatever. Like Tampa Bay Damage lost by inches. And several points. They lost by inches most of the time, which is really, in my opinion, quite rare. Most of the time they lost because of one body that died. Like one really key body that died. That is incredibly impressive. Well, and sorry about the news, man. Hopefully everything goes well for them. You're a G for doing this. Much love to you and the family. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. Thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I don't know. I see the donations before the stream hears them, but maybe I should just wait to react to them until until the stream hears them. But thank you, man. I'll be sure if you guys are in the Discord server or maybe on my community post, I'll be sure to like post a picture of the donation and stuff so you guys know that we can all kind of see that. But anyway, so my point was that it's interesting to see that even though a game as wide as this, like 7-1, I think it ends up being 7-1. Even a point spread that is wide as that, in the first 3-4 points, it was really a game of inches, and it just kept going in Dynasty's favor. It looked like, I think Tampa Bay Damage had 3 deaths that were just literally dying behind your bunker that cost them the series, in my opinion. And what's interesting is, this is why, if you guys want to hear me preach about something, it is that if there is nothing else that you do as a divisional player but fundamentals, and that they are incredibly solid, it will prevent those kinds of mistakes. Now, it's not to say the Damage's fundamentals aren't solid. They are incredibly solid. Make no mistake about that. Sometimes it is what it is. It just happens. You get that literal random one ball that kills you. It's just really unfortunate to think that happened 3 very crucial times throughout the series, right? There needs to be something you can do to avoid that, right? But you also can't just like concede all of the ground that you're, to your opponents entirely. Like, you can't just like stop applying pressure to them. But all I'm trying to say is that gap is way wider in divisional play, right? I can't tell you how many games I watch where teams even as high as like D2, but it happens a lot in D3 and lower, where teams just get like literally killed out of their bunker. They just die out of their bunker. They're not gunfighting. They're not looking to make a move. They don't look on the inside and then get surprised. They literally just die out of their bunker. And so it's like, that should be an entirely avoidable death. There's no excuse for you just dying like that, especially if you're not gunfighting with the guy in front of you, right? If you're just holding a gap, if you're holding a zone and you don't see anybody and then you just die, it tells you that your form is bad. Like, you need to work more on your form. I mean, it's also possible that a bounce shot kills you, or like some random lob shot. Again, it's paintball. It happens. But like, generally speaking, that's a pretty good indication that you need to work on your form and making sure you're really tight behind your bunker when you're trying to hold a gap. And so, again, I'm not saying that that's what happened with Dynasty, but you can see that at a pro level, it's the gap, the inches, or rather the margins, are so small. The margins for error are so incredibly small that one body death can lead to the entire point going in your opponent's favor, right? You just have to avoid that entirely. And so, whereas in lower divisions, you can lose 1, 2, maybe even 3 bodies and still pull out the win because there's so many mistakes that follow after that, right? But that's why what I usually say is Division 2 is the first division where teams are playing, in my opinion, proper paintball, because that's generally the division where you'll do best if you just eliminate as many mistakes as you possibly can. Like, you need to eliminate as many possible mistakes as you can so that all you're really doing is playing pure paintball. You're just executing on what you hope to do. That's too bad. Jeez. Sorry for my stuffy nose. I've been crying a lot. All right. Well, that's going to be it. Congrats, Dynasty. I mean, they're an incredible team. Like, it's we've known that forever. It's just amazing how dominant they are. I really thought for a while there that like X Factor and Impact especially had kind of like solidified themselves as like the new wave or the new era of like Dynasty, because they were such a winning team for a hot minute. But like, it is incredible to see Dynasty winning as much as they are. you know, it feels like they're in their prime still, or rather that they're in their prime again. Like, that is incredible. So there's some kind of magic juju that they're drinking that's just working for them. But that's it for the stream for today. I be on the lookout. I've been lately over promising and really under delivering, and I feel terrible about that. So I really don't want to do that again. But be on the lookout, I will say, for when I stream this week. The masterclass on coaching, I think, is what I'm going to do. So I have talked a lot already about like strategy and philosophy behind the strategy that I subscribe or prescribe. But what I want to talk about is kind of like specifically from a coach's perspective. I want to kind of share with you guys like these are the things to think about when you're trying to have your team execute on a game plan. Whether you're a player coach or you're a dedicated coach for your squad, what I want to do is just kind of share with you some things to consider and some philosophy to be aware of so that you're making as informed decisions as you possibly can. It kind of bleeds into a little bit of my metagaming topic that I want to cover at some point, but it's from a macro perspective. Eventually I'll cover the metagaming perspective from like an individual's eyes. You know, in the case of like, I know what my opponent's going to do, or I've seen them do these things. How do I counter that? Or how do I be less obvious in what I'm trying to do? So we'll talk about that in a later video. I'm not prepared to talk about that yet, but this will all be, you know, well before the next season starts. So if you guys have any other topics or any other things that you would like me to cover, be sure to join the Discord server and let me know. The only other thing that I think people wanted to hear me talk about, which I won't do for today's stream, I want to spend a little bit more time talking about it in a later stream, is just the new schedule coming out for the NXL season next year. My initial reaction is, why can't we have a Vegas event or something that's on the West Coast? I'm so sick and tired of feeling like I have to go to Florida twice in a year. It's very expensive for me, but whatever. Also, I'm not bummed at all that Chicago is gone. That radar tower that like messes with chronographs is the most annoying and hilarious like safety issue that we have to deal with in that event. So I'm not surprised that it's going away. The venue's nice, but otherwise it's not that great, and we'll see where it ends up being. I think there's speculation that it's going to be Ohio, and I wouldn't be surprised if I see that. So thanks guys so much for watching. Again, join the Discord server. I'm super accessible there. Be sure to post your paintball gear and stuff to sell on the Discord server. If you want to be in a trusted community where, you know, hopefully your risk of being scammed is way lower, then be sure to join the Discord server and list your stuff there. Information on how to actually list stuff or see the forums themselves is all in that Discord server. So thanks guys so much for watching. Be sure to comment and like the video. It helps me out a lot. Tell me what you learned, what you like about the series, what you don't, and I'll do my best to improve on that. So what's the Discord, or do you have a link for it? I believe it's in every description of every video I ever do. So look at the description below and you should be able to see the Discord link there, but I will post it in the chat right now because why not? Here's the Discord link. It's pretty straightforward. Just make sure to get a role right when you join and you'll see the rest of the Discord server. So thanks guys so much for watching, and I will see you later this week. So bye.